This is one of my peach trees. It is one of the first trees I planted on this property. It was planted in spring, and then immediately we had a giant drought, which stunted it. And then I was very hesitant to prune it, which made it get quite a few suckers and kind of chia pet out. This is my first attempt at pruning. You can see the suckers. You can see that it has some damage here from a support that it rubbed against. And because it was so chia petted, I didn't realize how much damage was causing from the support from when it was little. But we tried to clear it up, tried to trim some of the ends, open up the center a little, but we'll see how effective that actually ended up being. We also trimmed it a little shorter. It's still taller than most people want, but because it's open, which means deer and the like can get at it, I want it to be taller than the traditional backyard fruit tree. So we're gonna see how it grows. We're gonna see if it produces some peaches. It has not yet produced any peaches yet. We have it and its other friend here. This is very bush-like. This is the other peach tree. It died almost. It came awful close. And so I've let it kind of bush out. We trimmed it up for the first time as well, but we left a lot more. We'll see what thickens, see what grows. We'll probably end up keeping this one as the central, this piece right here. But I may try and do some thick cuttings and maybe try and plant those elsewhere. We have the poplar trees, which are planted. We just had our freezes, so obviously no growth yet, but it doesn't look like they've died either, which is good. You can see on the end here, it's looking a little rough. We'll see. Got a plum tree, newly purchased. Put it by the chicken coop. And it's getting some buds. It started producing a little bit of green right before we got the freeze, but it doesn't look like it suffered any real damage, which is good, especially since I planted it and then only a couple days later did it freeze. Got a mulberry. This one's under a oak tree, which means it doesn't get much in the way of light. It's in pretty heavy shade. This is from the freeze. It did have leaves right up until then. So I trimmed it just a little, but I'm keeping this more bush-like. So I'm planning on bending and using some stones to spread them. I did the layover method on the bottom to try and produce some new stuff. Not so successful with this one. Much more successful with this one. This one gets a lot more sun. This little chia pet at the bottom is the results of a successful bend over method, which produced these, which are solid, fresh grown, cut off from the bent over and partially buried branch. And now I have some new ones coming up. This is the one that got big. You can see I trimmed maybe 1.5 feet off the top, and I trimmed up the center some and tried to just give it a good pruning. It didn't produce any mulberries last year, but it was the first year I had it. So I'm hoping this year we'll get some mulberries. It's thickened considerably. These are the same ones. I planted this at the same time as the one under the oak. You can see how much they really do need sun. That is the path forward for mulberry. The fig in the chicken coop seems to be surviving. I planted this directly in there, supported by some stones to prevent the scratching. But we do have green growth. Try and get a good, there we go. Got some green growth. So looking forward to seeing how this does in spring. The persimmon, persimmon, same kind of setup. It also seems to be still bendy, still got some good stuff on it, but I am concerned it's not doing as well, but we shall see. This was my first attempt at doing some pruning. Haven't ever really had to do that before. I watched plenty of YouTube videos and I probably still didn't do nearly as good a job, but I think it'll be good enough. We have some pretty hardy varieties. The chickens and the guineas are doing good. The youngest girls are now fully laying. We're getting a ton of eggs, even though it's winter. So much so that our household can't even consume them all, so we're giving them to family and the like. We'll be getting some new ones come spring, including some guineas, and hopefully this time we don't get all boys. But guineas, great for looking after the flock. Good alarm system, keeping an eye on things. Big fan of guineas.